As search engine optimization specialists, we keep hearing about search moving from strings to things. It is becoming more important um, to do SEO for someone who's doing SEO to understand the difference between topics and search terms. And I see a lot of even more established SEO professionals making this mistake. They think, it's all about search terms, but that's not really the case. Google is moving from just looking at search terms to looking at search entities. Um, Fortunately, it's easy. Google has made it easy to check and see what kind of entities it identifies. And Google Trends is a great tool to help do that. It's an underutilized tool, unfortunately, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use Google Trends. You can improve your search results, you can improve the rankings and search results by targeting not only strings like search phrases, but you're targeting the entire entity as a whole. And that means that once Google identifies you as a entity and identifies you as what kind of entity you are, it becomes easier to rank for your keywords. So this is also referred to as entity SEO strategy, and it's important to know the difference. But my personal approach is to use an entity SEO strategy and couple that with a keyword SEO strategy, and I use it as a whole. But this video is about using entity SEO strategy. So I'll go ahead and jump into my screen, and I'll show you how I use Google Trends to identify entities. And you can use this if you already have a website or you're looking to establish a website. This should be one of the first things you do before you add any more content, before you think about adding any more backlinks or doing anything else. Do this first, and then move on. As you can see, I've gone ahead and searched Madonna, and everybody knows who Madonna is. But what many people would not know is if you scroll right down over here, there is this little box and it says American songwriter. So Madonna belongs to an entity, or at least Google has associated Madonna to an entity called American singer-songwriter. And this is important because now if you searched for, let's say, Bill Hurts, let's do this. All right, let's do Bill Silvesky. Now, for some reason, this person is not associated. At least there is no box for this person. Google has not associated the late Bill with an entity yet. But if I do Matt Cutts, and okay, so Google has associated Matt Cutts with associated this person with let's see, okay, American software engineer. So the entity that Google associated Matt Cutts with is with American software engineer. Now, if you do a search for American software engineer, you go ahead and cut this over here, you'll see that it has a decent search volume. There are lots of related keywords. There are a lot of related key phrases that have a lot of search volume. And if you scroll right down, it will also show you jobs if you're searching from the US. And there's also a category on Wikipedia for American software engineers. And there's a lot of just very broad, generalized data. Now, we'll get to this in a second, but let's go ahead and take a look at Google Trends, because the Google Trends will tell you if you are an entity or if your business is an entity. So now if I do, for instance, Microsoft, Microsoft is a giant. So it shows Microsoft as a search term. It shows Outlook.com because Outlook is associated with Microsoft. And it's got Microsoft as a topic. It's got Microsoft 365 as software. So interestingly, it doesn't show Microsoft as a software development business or as a business that sells an operating system. Instead, it has broken Microsoft down into several entities. So it's trying to understand like what Microsoft you're searching for. So now if you just did Outlook, it will show you Outlook. If you did Microsoft 365, it will show you Microsoft's Office suite with 365. Let's try something else. Let's try add that. I have one final tip at the end of the video that really helps you piece everything together and make it more effective. But giving the tip right now will not make sense because you've not been through the video right now. But I've gone ahead and I've added it to the end of the video, so make sure that you watch it to the end. SEO. So let's do search engine. Let's do search engine optimization, and you see it says search term, it says topic. Now, topic would mean that if you're looking for search engine optimization related topics, for instance, backlinks, creating content, search optimization, stuff like that. And then it's also got another topic called local search optimization, and it's also got search engine marketing. Now, if you're trying to rank your website, and I know someone commented in one of my previous videos, and that person had an SEO website, and they were having trouble ranking it. And so one of the things that they should do right now, and this video is important for that person, and they know who they are, so watch this video. So you see the topic here is search engine optimization. So they should definitely have a lot of generalized information about search engine optimization, but they should also have information about local search optimization. Ideally, create a category for both of these, and then also have a search engine marketing topic. And all of these should be interconnected. Watch my reverse silo video, and they should be connected using the reverse silo. So let's try one more example, and then I'll go back to Google search. Now, let's try digital marketing. Okay, so this is interesting. It starts with digital marketing as a search term. It shows digital marketing plan. So it associates digital marketing with a plan. It associates internet marketing with field of study. Interesting, because internet marketing is not necessarily a field of study. People use internet marketing as a search term. They want to rank for that search term because they're trying to sell their internet marketing services. But Google identifies this as a field of study. So if you're trying to rank for internet marketing, for instance, you might not get the kind of traffic that you're looking for, and you probably might not be able to rank with the more commercialized content. So you probably would not need to take a look at this. And it says expand my business, IT development and digital marketing services. So business to business services. And so this is, for some reason, it tells us this is in India. Not sure. I think maybe maybe they've done some really good entity SEO to be identified over here. So let's go ahead and there's another one for InLife. So these are probably giants, and they've created separate entities for these guys. So it's a web design and digital marketing. So web designer in Brentwood, England. Interestingly, these are being associated with digital marketing, because a big part of digital marketing is web design, and Google understands that. So if you're trying to rank for digital marketing, make sure that you have these entities, make sure that these entities are being covered on your website. And then this will help tell Google that your website belongs to the digital marketing category. Or if you're not offering web design, and you're not offering if you're not offering case studies, then digital marketing, you would have to talk about digital marketing in the sense of it being a plan. So setting up a digital marketing plan, setting up a digital marketing plan as part of a social media marketing plan. So if I do social media, that's a social media marketing, and let's see if there's an overlapping topic over here. And so interestingly, social media marketing is not being identified with any entity. It's just being identified as topic. So you can cover this in your, this is something that you probably have to be more niche down. So let's go ahead and try to broaden it. And social networking service, so site grouping, you've got social media manager. And so a lot of these generalized topics. So now that we have gone through what these entities are, let's go ahead and see how we can use these entities to start ranking a website. So what I normally do is I would, I'm dealing with clients. So one of my clients is a dentist. So I would do dentist, and it would pull up dentist occupation, dentist branch of medicine, children's doctor, dentist, pediatric dentist, medical specialty, and cosmetic dentist. So one of the services that my client provides is pediatric dentistry. So I'll go ahead and click here and see what it pulls up. Okay, so this is the trend. This is the interest in pediatric dentistry over a period of some time, and it's showing me results from the United Arab Emirates because that's where I'm based. I go ahead and put United States because everyone's familiar with the United States, and a lot of my viewers are from the United States. Arguably, also many are from India. Interest over time is it's pretty okay, I guess. If you scroll right down, it shows interest by subregions. It shows all of this over here. And this data is important for two reasons. When I'm creating content for my pediatric dentistry client, what I want to do is I want to click here and it says, so American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry, this is a subject I should absolutely cover on my client's website. I should also cover I should also mention American Board of Pediatric Dentistry. So if they're certified by these guys, they should definitely be on the list. And you might have remembered that cosmetic dentistry was another term that Google Trends suggested. So I'll just put in cosmetic dentistry, and let's say it's medical specialty, and this shows me the trend over time. Now, when I'm creating content for, let's say, the blog posts, and these guys already have a whole lot of content. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to look at these results right here. So pediatric dentist in Lebanon, Tennessee, they're not based in Lebanon or Tennessee. So ZocDoc is a brand. So pediatric dentist, Grand Rapids. Okay, so this is something that we can use. And all of these, by the way, the reason why this is important is these are all related to the medical term search entity. So medical specialty. So medical specialty and all of these terms right here are associated with medical specialty. So just keep that in mind. So whenever you're covering these, Google is identifying you as a medical specialty, or identifying it as a medical as a medical professional, not necessarily as a professional, but more of a specialty. So it's looking at it as more of a subject and not something with commercial intent. But we are, as I'm going to show you, turn this into something with commercial intent. And so I'm searching for a word here that has commercial intent that will be associated with medical specialty. So let's do a quick search. And okay, so this is something I can use. Silicon Valley Pediatric Dentistry. Results, search interest has increased over some time. California, my client is based in California. And dentistry, see, it says dentistry branch of medicine. Silicon Valley is a region in California. So if I covered this, by the way, I would be covering both of these overlapping entities, search entities. And so this would be something very good for me to cover on their blog or create a separate page for them. Obviously, it will depend on what strategy I'm using. So as you can see, this is a very quick and easy way to identify what entity Google sees you as, and then optimize your rankings accordingly. So the idea here and the power tip that I mentioned earlier was that you shouldn't panic if you're not a topic yet. The fact that Google disagrees does not mean that you're not successful or you're not doing very good. It's just that Google hasn't been able to catch up with you at the moment. However, what you can do, and what I have often done is, if you're not an entity yet or you're looking to create content, you can create content around the edge. Now, what does that mean? That means it's the overlap between two topics. So, for instance, if you entered in Paris into Google Trends, so you've got Paris as a football club, and then you've got the Jack Liu and the Gan Liu buffoon is a football goalkeeper. So football club and goalkeeper. So you can create content that overlaps and covers both these topics. I know I butchered the name. I'm not a big football guy, but this is something will give you an idea of how to target both topics at the same time and create what's called edge content. And edge content ranks really well because not many people are doing it. And it also helps you identify. It helps tell Google what kind of entity you are or your website is, and that makes it easier to rank for the key phrases that you're targeting. And overall, it just improves your ranking. So guys, if you like the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.